Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We're starting with breaking news right now. A newly released report outlines major changes recommended for the Lewis prison.
The report comes after shocking video of the shows inmates coming and going out of their cells as they please, leading to a fight between the inmates and the correctional officers. Team 12's Bianca Bono has been reading through the report. And Bianca, what does the report say?
Well, Mark Caribe, not only does this report outline the problems in the prison, it also lists several possible solutions. A damning report issued by two former Arizona Supreme Court justices, Rebecca Birch and Ruth McGregor, outlining their findings in their investigation into security issues at Lewis Prison in Buckeye. The 40-page document comes after video shows inmates letting themselves out of their cells, fighting with correctional officers. According to the report, issues with locks at Lewis date back at least to 2006. But part of the problem, some leaders denied the fact that the locks on cells were broken, instead saying inmates had tampered with them so they wouldn't completely shut. The report saying 50 to 70% of incidents involving inmates letting themselves in and out of their cells were not reported. Another problem. Although leadership recognized the serious issue of broken locks, they haven't requested funding to fix them since 2013. The report highlighting several prison assaults from 2018 due to ineffective locks, resulting in at least 9 correctional officers getting seriously injured. The report calling out Director Charles Ryan, who has since announced his resignation, saying he, quote, remained surprisingly uninformed about the poor functioning of the locks, calling it not acceptable. The report offering 9 possible solutions, including an alternative locking system, increased staffing, and consistent security checks to ensure the cells are shut. And the Arizona Department of Corrections has responded to the report already, saying they support the recommendations and have already started taking steps to address many of those issues. We're live in the Alert Center. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you.